He added all the humor to the movie.
Declan was a really good choreographer. Cam did some good stuff, and Jack was able to come up with some good ideas.
Wow, this is so much better than hanging out with a bunch of stupid people.
Good evening, friends. I have a story that I will regale you with. It is your choice whether you sit and listen. This story has treachery and lies and heroism. But, I suppose, with all stories, one must begin at the beginning. In the time of the year that kings went out for war, I tarried at a summer camp. I learned several things about myself that summer. Several things I would not forget. The last week before the kids arrived, tension was mounting. As we all got the rosters for who would be in our barracks, one name shone above the rest. A name that struck terror into the hearts of counselors and children. A name that would not soon be forgotten. For the sake of anonymity, this child will go unnamed. But because the story is about him, let's call him Jordan. Young Jordan was a strange boy. It seemed he came to summer camp less for the possibility of fun and excitement, and more for the promise of easy sleeping. And sleep he did. He slept through the zip line. He slept through the blob. He slept through the skate park. He slept through paintball. All he wanted to do was sleep. So much so that you could never get a rise out of him. He wouldn't cooperate. Until it was lunchtime. Because when that bell rang, a boy who at one time seemed more alike to molasses than humanity became a champion sprinter. So, the lunch bell rang, the breakfast bell rang, the dinner bell rang, and Jordan was nowhere to be found. Suddenly, hundreds of yards up ahead our group, sprinting, dead run to the cafeteria to get that delicious camp food first. Towards the end of the week, the kids, who at first were about as agreeable with each other as oil and water, suddenly found grounds upon which they could strike up a friendship, more like a partnership. They decided that the best way for them to unite was against me in a confederacy of evil. In the deadest part of night, when the whole camp was quiet, my campers woke up, and I woke up to the scurryings and the scuttlings of angst-ridden 14-year-olds in their desire to harm me. Jordan's plan was near perfect, you see. One child grabbed me by the socks and pulled them off of me. A second began to feverishly beat me with his skateboard, inflicting mortal damage. A third, hoping to choke me, no doubt, held his pillow down and tried to suffocate the life out of me. I began flailing and flopping like a maniac, trying to get the 14-year-olds off of me. By the time I was able to flick the light on, the smoke had cleared and they were all gone. All except one. Jordan. And he was ready. The full moon a-blazing, don't you know? And closing in fast. I panicked. Did what anyone would have done. I took my trusty sword. It happened to be the same pillow that they tried to strangle me with. I gripped it in my right hand, and with all of my might, I unleashed a maelstrom, a flurry, if you will, of pillows, raining them down upon young Jordan. I broke through his defenses. I crushed his battle lines. He was not prepared for my onslaught. He was not prepared for the fire in my eyes. I unleashed a verifiable storm of pillows upon that young boy, so much so that he was unable to stand under the weight. But I, too, endured scars that day. I close my eyes sometimes, and I can see his shabby and putrid countenance, the full moon blazing bright. I will not easily forget Jordan and the damage that he wrought upon me. I won't forget him, and he won't forget me.